Is it here?
Say congratulations, Mom.
Congratulations.
Go give Mama a big hug.
Look how cool. Face me. No, hold it like this. I got my diploma and I'm opening it.
Congratulations, you've earned this.
You ready?
Daddy get in the mail?
Look at the pluses. What do you think?
It looks so good, Mom.
Looks good?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations!
It is my great pleasure to welcome all of the families, the friends, the administrators, the incredible faculty, and most of all, you, our graduates. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to celebrate with you today.
We will come out of this stronger than when we went in. We've learned so much. We've grown so much. We're still, at the end, focused primarily on students, and everything else is secondary.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Joanne.
And we're SNHU graduates. I chose SNHU to get a bachelor's and a master's.
I chose SNHU so I could continue my athletic career.
I just received my degree from SNHU.
SNHU was really supportive of my disability and allowed me to stay engaged in my classes while still attending doctor's appointments.
I am Michelle Barnhart, and I'm a Snhu graduate. As a student, SNHU made me feel like I belonged because they were always there for me whenever I needed them.
Everyone's path is different, but the destination and the dream are the same. To hold that degree and say to the world, I'm a college graduate. I did it.
At Southern New Hampshire University, you aren't just a student. You're the author of your own story. You don't just dream, you do. Where others see challenges, you see opportunities. You persevere in spite of everything life throws at you. When things get hard, you dig deep and find a way to push through. And after tackling late nights and rallying for early mornings, your hard work has finally paid off. And today, we are proud to call you graduates.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jennifer Batchelor, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the first ever Southern New Hampshire University virtual commencement. We are thrilled to be celebrating our graduates with their families, friends, as well as our faculty and staff who are watching from all over the world today. We are so proud of all you've accomplished and are very much looking forward to the opportunity to recognize your academic achievements in person as soon as we can. I would like to now ask everyone, if you are able, to please rise for the singing of our national anthem, sung by Jessica Caldwell, a Director of Academic Advising here at SNHU.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jessica. Welcome everyone to this year's commencement ceremonies. We're broadcasting this ceremony live, though many of you may be watching it later, depending on where you are. We have students from around the globe. Time zones may dictate that you watch this with your family at another time. And you might be sitting wherever you are, thinking, well, this isn't the commencement ceremony we planned on. We've thought that more than once. And you wouldn't be wrong. But I want to recall a conversation I had with Lori Santos from earlier this year. Lori is an amazing faculty member at Yale, and we had a conversation. You'll hear from her later today as our commencement speaker. And we had a conversation earlier this year in which I was asking her about the impact of the pandemic on our students and the toll it was taking. And she said, yeah, it's been tough, but these students may be the most close-knit class that we'll ever produce. That years from now, decades from now, when they meet each other, they will have this bond. They will be the ones who studied and completed and graduated during a pandemic, something that none of us has ever experienced before, and I hope we won't ever again. And she also reminded me that this is a year in which, despite all the suffering, and it was considerable, life also flourished. People fell in love, people proposed, were married, babies were born. Businesses closed, but a lot of businesses started in the midst of this. And people throughout showed amazing kindness and compassion. And against that backdrop, college degrees were completed as well. You finished. And you did so showing resilience and courage and sacrifice, and many with a burden that was much more than could be expected of you. There are frontline workers in this graduating class. There are public health workers in this graduating class, public safety people, medical professionals. You did all that our society asked of you and more, and you also completed your college degree. We stand in awe. So we celebrate today in this virtual way because that's what public health dictates. And we've made a promise to you that as soon as we can safely do so, we'll have a physical commencement ceremony. And I would love to greet you on stage, see you in the audience. But take pride in this accomplishment. Take more pride in this accomplishment, not less. We will brag about you more in the years to come, not less. We will remember you more vividly, not less. You are an amazing class. And don't let distance and virtual space diminish the virtues of this accomplishment. Commencements are important, really important. They are the parade through the city streets when the team has won the championship. But no one confuses the parade for the game. Parades are not the championships. You won that game in the long hours of being a student and writing papers, completing exams. And when you finished your last class, I know you remember that day, the last assignment was handed in and earned your degree, and in that moment you won the championship. You come into this day the champions of your own story and of our hearts, and we are incredibly proud. Let the ceremonies begin. It's my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Lori Santos of Yale University. Lori has received a Doctorate of Humane Letters for her contributions to the social sciences, and more importantly, for her guidance, which has taken on national prominence for how to lead a healthier and happier life. Lori is an incredibly influential figure who's taught us about resiliency, positive psychology, and in a way that doesn't neglect the genuine challenges and suffering in the world, but instead talks about how we build a meaningful and happy life despite, and in some cases, because of what we've been through. Lori is perhaps the most apt speaker we could have for this incredible year that we've just been through together. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Lori Santos.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone watching this 2021 Southern New Hampshire University Commencement Address. To President LeBlanc and all the members of the faculty and staff, to all the honored guests, to the family and friends of everyone at Southern New Hampshire University, and last but definitely not least, to all the graduates here with me today, the Spring 2020, Fall 2020, and Spring 2021 classes. Thank you so much for having me here today. I can't tell you what an honor it is to speak to your commencement class in particular. Simply put, your class is amazing. I'm looking out over this video screen at 45,000 graduates, on-campus and off-campus learners, scholars from all 50 states and more than 50 countries, people from all walks of life who share this love of learning and have come to Southern New Hampshire University to become scholars. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for all your accomplishments, big and small, that you've had over the last few years. But I also want to congratulate you on the fact that you've managed to achieve all these accomplishments in one of the most challenging times our country and our world has ever seen. I'm sure that when you signed up to go to college, you didn't think you'd be getting your degree in the middle of a global pandemic. In the last 15 months, all our lives have changed in ways that nobody could have imagined. But in spite of all of those challenges, you're all sitting here today proudly watching this virtual commencement address. You're ready to head off into this new, nearly post-pandemic world with your degree. And that is incredible. You all rock, and you should be really, really proud of yourself. And so when I started thinking about the kinds of things I could say during this virtual commencement address, I wanted to address all the uncertainty and all the difficulty that we've all been facing. But to be totally frank, being a virtual commencement speaker in 2021 is kind of hard, because the usual task of a commencement speaker is to give you some wise and very sure of itself advice, something that you can use for the future. But right now, we're celebrating all of your achievements at a time when the future seems more uncertain than ever. I mean, I am a scientist and a happiness expert, but this is still my first global pandemic. I'm not sure what the next few months or even the next few years hold. And so when I thought what I could tell you during this kind of challenging, strange, uncertain time, I wanted to go back to something that I know will work, something that science tells me is advice that I can be sure of. And so I want to give you a strategy that is known by science to improve not just your physical health, but also your happiness. And that strategy is that I want you to take some time to experience gratitude, the simple act of counting your blessings. Now, feeling grateful right now in such a challenging time can be difficult. It's also a little countercultural. These days, we're more likely to count our hassles than our blessings. But research shows that gratitude can help, especially during difficult times. Grateful people are not only happier, but healthier. They sleep better, and they have stronger immune function. Gratitude can reduce depression and anxiety, and it also can make you more productive. No matter what job you are off to right now, gratitude can make you perform a little bit better. It can also help you with the big things in life, like saving for retirement and eating more healthily. You're less likely to procrastinate if you're feeling grateful, and it's a kind of strategy that can benefit you a lot in the future. And so, in the few minutes I have with you, I wanted to try it. I want you to experience some gratitude. So, bear with me wherever you are. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a minute to just recognize how lucky you are to come to a place like Southern New Hampshire University. Think about how lucky you feel and how grateful you are. But even more than that, I want you to take a moment to experience gratitude for all the people who've helped you along the way. Because the fact is, none of you've made this journey on your own. This big accomplishment that you're all experiencing right now, it is something that you share with a huge village. Now, I think soon all of you are going to get your diplomas, and when it arrives, you're going to open it up and look at your name there, in big bold letters. But I want you to remember all the names that are also there in invisible ink, the many, many, many other names that have helped you with this accomplishment. And I want you to remember that they're not written on there in an obvious way, but they are there in invisible ink. On your diploma in invisible ink is going to be the name of your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunties and uncles, cousins, family, friends, grandparents, step-parents, everyone who's been there for you. On that name in invisible ink is going to be countless numbers of friends who've been there for you when you needed them, who've given you advice, who've talked you through the tough times. On there in invisible ink are probably your high school teachers, mentors, coaches, everyone who's been by your side through the long history of learning that you've had. And on that diploma in invisible ink are also going to be generations of people before you who've worked incredibly hard so that one day you could call yourself a college graduate. Now I want you to take a moment to notice how you feel, thinking about how lucky you are, all those names of people who've helped you along the way. That warmth in your chest, maybe some of those almost happy tears you might be shedding right now, that is a genuine feeling of gratitude and connection. It's a feeling that this world has your back. And that's what gratitude can do. It's a performance-enhancing drug, and one that's likely to give you lots more happy feelings in the time to come. Class of 2021, I hope you will take this scientific tip to heart. I speak for everyone else who's watching this when I say that so many of your teachers and family members and friends are incredibly proud of you and incredibly grateful that you've now graduated. Congratulations on all your accomplishments. And here's to deeply and intentionally appreciating all that life brings you from here all out. Congratulations, and thank you for having me as your virtual commencement speaker.
President LeBlanc, I am pleased to introduce the newest graduates of Southern New Hampshire University's Global Education Programs. Our education graduates will enter the pre-K through 12th grade and higher education learning environments prepared with academic degrees, expertise, and experiences in an array of disciplines, including the MED in Curriculum and Instruction, with concentrations in dyslexia studies and other language-based learning disabilities, educational leadership, reading, technology, and special education, the MED in online instruction, and the MS in higher education administration. Our education graduates have acquired the knowledge, skills, abilities, and dispositions to address the academic and social-emotional needs of the 21st century student by creating and implementing positive change within the curriculum, instructional programs, and overall educational community. Furthermore, our graduates will be entering a more complex, dynamic, interconnecting, and demanding environment, prepared to excel professionally, ready to address the diversified and ever-increasing globalized learning community needs in the pre-K and higher education environments as professionals and future leaders in education. Please allow me to thank the many faculty, associate deans, staff, and most importantly, advisors who have contributed to our graduates' successful completion of this phase in their academic journey. The impact of your work will be a fundamental component of our graduates' continued success and influence for years to come. Congratulations to the newest graduates of SNHU's education programs.
At every graduation ceremony, there's one last piece that makes it official. And it's a bit of legal language that I'm required to read. I didn't read it one year when I started at SNHU, so there may be a whole class of people who think they graduated, and they may not have, but don't tell them. But you will be taken care of. So here we go. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Southern New Hampshire University and by the General Court of the State of New Hampshire, I hereby confer the degrees of Doctor of Education, Doctor of Philosophy, International Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, and Master of Science. The Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Applied Science, and Bachelor of Science. Associate in Arts, and Associate in Science, with all rights, honors, privileges thereto. Congratulations.
Jennifer A. Biss, Master of Education. Charmaine Alarid, Master of Education. Shay Anderson, Master of Education. Erica Arizmendi, Master of Education. Dina Baker, Master of Education. Sarah Barnes, Master of Education. Eric Bell, Master of Education. Monica Blazer, Master of Education. Jenna Bonacorso, Master of Education. Whitney Brown, Master of Education. Nicole Clark, Master of Education. Mariah Cleveland, Master of Education. Travis Crudson, Master of Education. Alexis D'Amboise, Master of Education. Jordan Davis, Master of Education. Jillian Dennis, Master of Education. Rebecca Evanson, Master of Education. Jill Fancelli, Master of Education. Ashley Freeman, Master of Education. Felicia Hatcher, Master of Education. Kaylin Hubner, Master of Education. Kimberly Joseph, Master of Education. Samantha Kimmel, Master of Education. Justin Korosek, Master of Education. Tracy Lamar, Master of Education. Elizabeth Lambert, Master of Education. Brittany Legault, Master of Education. Christy Lewis, Master of Education. Olivia Luque, Master of Education. Brielle Minaya, Master of Education. David Mock, Master of Education. Amanda Morley, Master of Education. Michelle Motichka, Master of Education. Sarah Nassif, Master of Education. Christina O'Grady, Master of Education. Deanna Parker, Master of Education. Donna Petty, Master of Education. Christopher Pons, Master of Education. Kendra Raymond, Master of Education. Lauren Rossborough, Master of Education. Katie Salisbury Grant, Master of Education. Jerasa Smith, Master of Education. Hannah Stabe, Master of Education. Shelby Stevenson, Master of Education. Ann Turner, Master of Education. Rachel Van Vliet, Master of Education. Elizabeth Wallace, Master of Education. Charlie Wiley, Master of Education. Reed Allison, Master of Science. Amy Chung, Master of Science. Aaron Clark, Master of Science. Hannah Gage, Master of Science. Elizabeth Greenberg, Master of Science. Ashley Hartnett, Master of Science. Shauna Hayes, Master of Science. Joshua Jones, Master of Science. Tiffany Levesque, Master of Science. Raul Lorenzo, Master of Science. Carolyn Mays, Master of Science. Matthew McDonald, Master of Science. Tamara Pominville, Master of Science. James Remelius, Master of Science. Eve Wright, Master of Science.
Congratulations to the newest graduates of Southern New Hampshire University. On behalf of the Alumni Board of Directors, I am honored to officially welcome you into the SNHU Alumni Association. Today, more than 156,000 SNHU alumni around the world congratulate you on your success and hope you will be an active part of our global SNHU community. At this time, if you are one of our learners who has earned an associate's or bachelor's degree, I invite you to participate in the ceremonial tradition of moving your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. As you go forth today, always remember the university's motto, Summa Optimaque, in English, the greatest and the best. And indeed, you are. Congratulations again.